The Nightmare Before Christmas is a Christmas movie, not a Halloween movie. And I'm going to prove it. Not going off general vibes, going off facts, figures, and media analysis. But before we get into that, we have to talk about 47 other movies. Yeah, you thought I was going to go into a brand deal, but no, I analyzed 47 other movies for this video, and we have to unpack all of that before we even touch The Nightmare Before Christmas, okay? But you're probably wondering how I got here. Well, it all started at the Chanhassen Dinner Theaters. Last year when I was in Beautiful, the topic of The Nightmare Before Christmas came up, and I very confidently stated that it was a Christmas movie, only to be surprised that most people didn't agree with me. And I felt very passionately about this subject, so I just said to myself, Self, they probably haven't watched The Nightmare Before Christmas in a really long time. You gotta give them a break. If they knew the movie better, they would also agree it was a Christmas movie. But I did not let this go. I ruminated on this for over a year, until I asked my good friend whether she thought that Nightmare Before Christmas was a Christmas or a Halloween movie. And she definitely knows the movie very well because we did a sing-along at her apartment last December. And she said, Halloween movie. Well, there goes that hypothesis. What constitutes a Halloween movie? What constitutes a Christmas movie? Does anyone know? Are we just blindly categorizing things? Is everyone allowed to have their own personal opinions and preferences on things that cannot be concretely determined? No! I have to be right! So on Halloween, I put a survey up on my Instagram story with 3 questions. 1, what is your favorite Halloween movie? 2, what's your favorite Christmas movie? And the third question was given once they responded to the first 2, which was either, would you consider The Nightmare Before Christmas a Halloween or Christmas movie? Or would you consider a movie at/around Christmas time to be a Christmas movie? My genius plan was that I was expecting most people to say that The Nightmare Before Christmas was a Halloween movie. But I was expecting people with the other question to say that if a movie took place on Christmas, of course it's a Christmas movie. And then I got them. I called their bluff. But that's not how it turned out. I got 38 responses total, so 19 people each for the third question, which is not a huge sample size, I know, but it's what we were working with, okay? Give me a break. More people said that it was a Halloween movie than a Christmas movie, but also the same amount of people said either both or neither. On the other side, exactly 50% of people said a movie taking place on or around Christmas made it a Christmas movie, but the other half said either no or it depends, which is also a no in this context, so there goes that hypothesis. Now you're probably wondering how we got to 47 movies. I know that every movie that people responded was their favorite for each holiday, and basically everything was on the table. If someone responded with 3 instead of just 1, hey, that is a bigger sample size for me, so I will take it. Additionally, anything shorter than a traditional movie is acceptable. So a made-for-TV holiday special that would have been an hour with commercials, but is now a cool 53 minutes, or dare I say 25? Thank you, Charles Schultz. You are my hero. However, anything longer than a movie is not acceptable. I'm sorry, Over the Garden Wall, but you have been eliminated. I realized while editing this that Over the Garden Wall is about 2 hours. Like, yes, it's a series, but each episode is only about 10 minutes, so I should not have eliminated it. Yeah, I know. Okay, I get it, jeez. Fine. To make up for my mistake, here's an edit of me exploding. I threw my own favorites into the pool as well, Scary Godmother, Halloween Spooktacular, and Santa Claus vs. the Devil. Just to get some variety, you know. Any movie that had more than 1 response, I watched in its entirety, taking notes on the plot, the themes, and conjecturing where it might slot into a larger category, cementing it as a specific holiday movie. I was not out to prove that any particular movie did not live up to being a holiday movie, but rather figuring out, no matter how weird a movie was, what made it a Halloween or Christmas movie. The Halloween movies with multiple responses were Halloween Town with 5, Coraline with 4, Monster House with 3, and Halloween Town 2, Calabar's Revenge, Hocus Pocus, It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, Scary Godmother, Halloween Spooktacular, and Tucker and Dale vs. Evil, each with 2. Christmas movies had Elf and It's a Wonderful Life, leading with 4, Home Alone and the Jim Carrey How the Grinch Stole Christmas with 3, and The Year Without a Santa Claus, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Muppet Christmas Carol, The Polar Express, and The Santa Claus, all having 2 responses. That is 17 movies that I watched in full for this video. The other 30 that only one person said was their favorite, I did not watch. But I read the plot synopsis of each one on Wikipedia, took notes, and derived themes from there. And yes, I actually did that in full with every single movie. I would actually rather chew, swallow, and digest broken glass than use the lying plagiarism machine for research. If I'm going to be lied to, it's going to be by a real human on Wikipedia. And if you don't believe me, here are the 15 pages of notes I took, longhand. Yes, like actually. Goodbye. Shall we start with Halloween? Let me put some earrings on. Can you see them?
They're little bats.
Now, my goal is to figure out why these movies are Halloween movies. What exactly happens in them to categorize them as such? Starting by knocking out the most Halloween-y feeling of the Halloween movies, I found that the simplest explanation was simply, 1, it takes place or ends on Halloween. This covers Halloween Town, Monster House, Halloween Town 2, Calabar's Revenge, Hocus Pocus, It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, Scary Godmother, Halloween Spooktacular, Halloween, Trick or Treat, and The Addams Family, which does end on Halloween. This is a great start and definitely the most important rule, but we do have quite a few more movies to go, so this leads us to category 2. The main plot is a life or death situation for the main character. This includes Coraline, Tucker and Dale vs. Evil, Alien, It, Scream, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Villains. Now, there are some movies that I could have squeezed into this category, but I didn't because it felt like they weren't enough of a life or death situation. Take Corpse Bride, for example. Yes, Victor agrees to drink poison, but it's like halfway through the movie, and there's so much more movie after that, and it doesn't really feel like he needs that much convincing, which leads us to category 3. Plot is a ghost story or monster story. I defined monster story as revolving around classic monsters. This includes Frankenstein's monster, werewolves, witches, ghosts, mummies, etc. Basically, anyone who you imagine has been invited to the Monster Mash is fair game. So, ghost and monster stories. This covers Corpse Bride, Frankenhooker, Mad Monster Party, The Craft, The Phantom of the Opera, The Wolfman, and Young Frankenstein. Train. If you hear that dinging, it's a train outside my apartment. This leaves us with one movie that hasn't been categorized. The Addams Family Values. So if a movie does not take place in Halloween, it's not a life or death situation for the protagonist, it's not a ghost or a monster story, it's most likely not a Halloween movie. However, I cannot in good conscience say that the Addams Family movies aren't Halloween movies. And yes, the first one technically ends on Halloween, but there's so much less Halloween in that movie than the other ones in that category, so it really kind of doesn't count. So while I would love everything to just neatly fit into a box, I do have to admit, vibes are a contributing factor. They are. There are a very, very small example of movies that are categorized as Halloween movies on vibes alone. Such a small amount that there's only 1, possibly 2, responses from 38 people surveyed, but it is possible. So, category 4, Halloween vibes. I'll give you that. Now let's break down how The Nightmare Before Christmas fits into these categories. Yes, we're finally getting to the subject of the video. This is amazing. So first of all, it does not take place or end on Halloween. The first line after the opening monologue and song is, "It's over."
It's over!
We did it!
In regards to Halloween. And then they continue to talk about the holiday in the past tense.
Wasn't it terrifying? Great Halloween, everybody!
One could argue because you hear what appears to be clock bells at the end of the opening number, and that seems to be the exact moment when they are celebrating Halloween being over, that there is technically 68 seconds of time where they are in Halloween, starting from when Jack enters as the Scarecrow. We know the character introductions aren't real time because of Sally appearing in her tower when she is in the town square 43 seconds later, but based on the other movies we had in this category, I'm deeming 68 seconds as just not enough time to constitute takes place on Halloween. I mean, I emotionally disqualified The Addams Family, and it had 3 minutes 56 seconds of Halloween. Secondly, the main plot is a life or death situation for the main character. Again, no. The only people in danger during the movie is Santa himself and every family over the entire globe that celebrates Christmas. Whatever, casualties. But Jack is never in danger. Sally believes he is, but demonstrated by Jack himself at the beginning of the movie, he is totally okay with being set on fire. And he's truly not even that concerned when they're being shot at. In fact, when he actually is shot, he just wishes everyone a Merry Christmas. He's fine. He's absolutely not concerned about the situation.
Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night!
And of course, he can't die. Since he is dead, he can take off his head. He literally says it. I actually don't think it's possible for Jack Skellington to be in a life or death situation. That's interesting. Now, the third category is plot is a ghost story or monster story, which is a maybe. The plot does involve monsters. Jack is a skeleton who seems to be based on the Headless Horseman, and Sally is a Frankenstein's monster, or a Finkelstein's monster, I guess. So, I mean, yeah, it's not like a monster movie in the classic sense, but I guess if Mad Monster Party is in the category, so I feel like I have to say yeah. Yeah, it's about as much of a monster story as Mad Monster Party, yeah. And lastly, does it have Halloween vibes? Yes. But we're only halfway through our movies. Let's talk about Christmas. We're in Christmas time. Train, I do not perceive it. Similarly to Halloween, the most Christmassy of Christmas movies simply take place on the holiday, but because 50% of the survey thought that was not enough characterization alone, I challenged myself to come up with something different. What is it that sets these definitive Christmas classics apart from a movie like Alvin and the Chipmunks, which is generally not thought of a Christmas movie, although it has a lot to do with Christmas? The holiday is an important plot point, there are Christmas decorations everywhere, and they sing two separate renditions of a famous Christmas song. Then I realized, Category 1, Christmas is the inciting incident. This is a pretty good start because it does cover a wide variety of movies, from Kevin's family forgetting him on their way to a Christmas vacation, to Gizmo being purchased as a Christmas gift for Billy, to The Who's obnoxious pre-Christmas celebratory singing keeping the Grinch awake at night. So in addition to Home Alone, Gremlins, and How the Grinch Stole Christmas, we also have The Year Without a Santa Claus, every version of A Christmas Carol, The Polar Express, The Santa Claus, Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, Krampus, Miracle on 34th Street, Noel, Santa Claus vs. the Devil, and The Family Stone. However, there are some blindingly obvious Christmas movies that don't fit into this category. I mean, the inciting incident of Elf is Buddy trying to find his real family. I shouldn't say real family, that's offensive. I mean, the inciting incident of Elf is Buddy trying to find his family, and most of the plot of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is just about bullying. So, unfortunately, I do have to say that the second category simply has to be It Ends on Christmas. This covers Elf, It's a Wonderful Life, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, The Preacher's Wife, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, 12 Dates of Christmas, and The Life and Adventures of Santa Claus. This is also true for every movie in the first category besides Gremlins, so I do think the 50% of people who said yes to the question were correct. I'd also like to note that a vast majority of these movies have real Christmas characters in them, which was another potential category I was going to make if need be, which real Christmas characters is actual real Santa Claus, flying reindeer, elves, Christmas angels, Krampus, the Grinch? ? So you could also say that if a movie has a real Christmas character in it that's important to the plot, it is a Christmas movie. But I don't think you have to say that because I can't think of any example of a movie that doesn't have Christmas as an inciting incident and does not end on Christmas, but has plot important flying reindeer, you know? So let me know if you can think of any. I would love to hear it. This leaves us with just two movies to categorize, which is The Godfather Part 3 and The Wiz. Now, you personally watching this might disagree that the Godfather movies are Christmas movies, but again, I'm not trying to disprove anything, I'm just trying to categorize. Except The Night Before Christmas. I am disproving that one. And honestly, you can take up your grievances with AMC because apparently they're the ones who are really pushing these movies around the holidays. Category 3. Significant portions of the plot take place on Christmas. This covers all of the Godfather movies and Alvin and the Chipmunks. We're back in the game, baby! Woo! I'm I'm joking. No one said that on the survey, so I don't get to actually categorize that movie, but I just want to talk about it because I love Alvin and the Chipmunks. The first three. The fourth one is not good. Would you guys watch an Alvin and the Chipmunks video? Be honest. I'll make it anyways. Who cares? This just leaves us with The Wiz, which I didn't know people watched during the holidays, and I looked it up, and apparently people watched The Wizard of Oz during the holidays, which as a huge Oz fanatic, I did not know. Didn't know it was a holiday movie. I don't think it's a holiday movie in the traditional sense, but I didn't know this was like a tradition people had where they watched The Wizard of Oz or The Wiz during the holidays. But similarly to Halloween, I think The Wiz belongs in category 4, Christmas vibes, wholesome themes of family, friendship, loved ones. Now let's talk about The Night Before Christmas. Is Christmas the inciting incident? Yes. Jack finding Christmas Town and being amazed by it is what puts the plot in motion. 2, does it end on Christmas? Yes, it most certainly does. And you know what else it ends with? Snowfall. Out of the 20 movies I looked at that ended on Christmas, 11 ended with snow. But you know, snow schmo, it snows all the time. I know that, I live in Minnesota. I feel like it's only that significant if it's like a Christmas miracle. You know, like if it never snows and then it starts snowing and the character like looks at it and they're like, wow, look at that. It's snowing. Wait, that happens.
What's this?
What's this?
I haven't got a clue.
What's this? Why, it's completely
No, what's this? Must be a Christmas thing.
Significant portions of the plot do take place on Christmas, of course. And lastly, Christmas vibes, including wholesome themes of family/friendship/loved ones. Now, if I was writing an argumentative essay on that point alone, I could definitely convince you of the wholesome and supportive community that is Halloween Town, which also explains why Oogie Boogie is ostracized for being mean and malicious.
That's our job
But we're not mean
in our town of Halloween.
But I'm actually not going to try and convince you of that, because I don't feel like it. So you can have that one. It doesn't have Christmas vibes. Fine. So we have a few things in each of the holiday categories that The Night Before Christmas does fit into. But I will note that the categories are in order of importance. The movie Halloween Town is a wholesome coming-of-age story about familial love, but that doesn't override the fact that first and foremost, it does take place on Halloween. Similarly, it doesn't matter how many of the main characters get brutally dismembered in Krampus, the spooky vibes and life or death situation are not more important than the fact that the plot has all to do with Christmas. But let's take a closer look at the themes for a second. Now, I wanted a universal list of themes to pull from so I could better track what recurring themes were coming up. I could just write down whatever specific themes came to mind after watching a movie, but that is kind of an unlimited list of possibilities, and it would show my own bias for then trying to narrow them down into categories. So I set out to make a master list of every popular movie theme and sort them into larger categories beforehand, and then I realized I didn't want to do that, so I googled it. I read a few different articles on common movie themes and finally decided on this breakdown from Studio Binder because I thought it was a good variety, it seemed to cover all the bases, and also sorted the individual themes into broader themed categories, which would make my life easier. I did change one of the large categories because I found that several Christmas movies had the theme of faith versus doubt, so instead of filing those under God and philosophy, I changed it to Santa and philosophy. And a good thing I did, because I can't in good conscience say that the one and only theme in the Polar Express has anything to do with our Lord and Savior. The only exceptions to the Santa rule are The Preacher's Wife and The Godfather Part 3, which are actually for realsies about capital G God. And then as I was making my spreadsheet, I had one Halloween movie that was faith versus doubt, and that was It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. So I changed that one to Halloween being and philosophy. Because I'm a genius. Also, a whole lot of these movies ended up with the theme good versus evil, which I feel the need to say that usually that theme is for a little more serious of a topic. It's like the horrible atrocities committed in war, how revenge will completely ruin you as a human being. Third example. For this video, good versus evil is more simple than that. Good is Kevin McAllister and evil are the burglars, okay? We're going It's fine. Now here's how all the movies sorted out. If you're interested, you can pause the video to read. I was actually a little surprised by how little of a pattern there seemed to be here. The only truly significant thing is that almost no Halloween movie is concerned with philosophy, and of course the one that is due to Linus Van Pelt. So the individual themes I chose for The Nightmare Before Christmas are individual versus self, greed as downfall, love, change versus tradition, the cost of not accepting one's true identity, and the desire to escape. These slotted into the larger theme categories of survival, virtue and values, love, social themes, and discovering self-knowledge. All of these larger categories had more Christmas movies than Halloween movies in them, with the exception of survival, which was very Halloween dominated. However, I will say the smaller individual themes had a much more even break, as you can see here. Not exceptionally interesting, but you know, I did the research, so I'm putting it in. With all my previous points made, there are still some reasons why I think The Nightmare Before Christmas doesn't feel like a Christmas movie to a lot of people. One might argue that there are specific aspects of the plot that disqualify it from being anything other than a Halloween movie. The only thing that stuck out from the themes is that greed as downfall is an uncharacteristic theme for a Christmas movie. So often in holidays movies, the main character is trying to fight against greed and selfishness. The evil corporate bad guy is greedy, but the main character isn't. Not very Christmassy for the main character's greed to be an important aspect of the plot. Wait.
There goes Mr. Skinflint. There goes Mr. Green.
In whatever your favorite version of A Christmas Carol is, Scrooge is a business owner ruining his own life, the lives of Bob Cratchit and his entire family, as well as many people in London, simply because he's greedy. And Christmas Carol is one of the most iconic Christmas stories of all time. Now, of course, Jack Skellington's greed isn't malicious, it's much more of a byproduct of his obsession with Christmas. One might even argue that, in comparison, the general vibe of Jack Skellington, who cares about his community and doesn't try to harm anyone, is more in line with the Christmas spirit than that of Scrooge. It's me. I'm one. Anyways, I feel like people are going to be annoyed with this argument because in my heart of hearts, I know that no one is out here like, well, The Nightmare Before Christmas would be a Christmas movie, except it has the theme of greed as downfall, which disqualifies it. I know no one's saying that. I'm aware. But I tracked all these themes, I had to use them somewhere. What people may argue, and I do agree with this, is the general plot of A Nightmare Before Christmas feels a little antithetical to that of the stereotypical Christmas movie. Probably most Christmas movies follow about the same general plot. Either, oh no, Christmas is ruined because of this thing outside of my control and I have to save it. Or, oh no, Christmas is ruined because I've grown up and the magic of the holiday is worn off and I need to relearn the Christmas spirit. But in The Nightmare Before Christmas, the one ruining the holiday is Jack. It's his fault. Can it really be a Christmas movie if the protagonist is the one who has ruined Christmas? What kind of holiday movie is that? Where everything would have gone swimmingly if it wasn't for the main character destroying the holiday. Like, Jack Skellington literally stole Christmas from Santa. That's not... Wait.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You really are a heel.
Both The Nightmare Before Christmas and How the Grinch Stole Christmas in their simplest forms are about a guy who ruined what would have been a totally normal Christmas with their own weird inventions for no necessary reason. But they both realize their mistake and reverse what they've done. The Grinch returns all the presents to Whoville, and Jack saves Santa Claus from death by boiling lava. Now, of course, Jack doesn't try to ruin Christmas. It's more of a byproduct of Halloween Town's culture. One might even argue that Jack Skellington's motives are more in line with the Christmas spirit than that of the Grinch's. I'm making that argument. Also, so is everyone. That's an obvious statement. Jack Skellington is more in line with the Christmas spirit than the Grinch. Wow, Anya, shut up! Okay, sure, so maybe the plot itself of The Nightmare Before Christmas is fine, but no Christmas movie would ever be that violent, right? I mean, Jack has seriously endangered the lives of so many people. Christmas movies aren't violent, aggressive, dangerous. No one is casually and comically doing things that could very well cause death. Oh, wait.
Oops. Now why would anybody soak a rope in kerosene?
Merry Christmas. Christmas.
I actually have no idea what Home Alone clip I'm gonna pick. There's so many. But yes, I hear you. It's not about the themes. It's not about the plot. It's not about the violence even. It's the aesthetics. It's got the spooky Halloween vibes. I mean, it's not a horror movie. It's not a slasher. It's not a thriller. But it's scary to some people. Not to me, but to some people. I also, Return to Oz was my favorite movie as a child, and I never once thought that was scary, so that might be a me problem more than anything. There just aren't really Christmas movies that are spooky, creepy, scary, macabre, if you will. And I do hear you on that, you know. But you know what's louder? The screams of Krampus's victims. Okay, I'll stop speaking for you. Mostly because I can't think of any other arguments. Let's do something fun! I'm no longer wearing makeup because I've already catfished you into watching this video. You guys will never believe what happened. So, I recorded the first part of this video, right? And then I go to my family's white elephant gift exchange, and now I'm back recording this. Well, what did I get at the gift exchange? What are the odds? It's got little figurines in it. Isn't that fun? It's for children, which I am one, internally. But not in a creepy way. I don't mean that in a weird way. Jack and Sally. And they're gonna go... Where can you see them? Ah! Like she did in the movie. Welcome to a different part of my room. We're gonna do an experiment. I want to see whether they say the word Halloween or Christmas more in The Nightmare Before Christmas. I have a whiteboard. Oh, I didn't consider this as a problem. Now I know it's gonna start crazy. It's gonna be hard to keep up. I'm scared.
I am the one hiding under your bed. This is Halloween, this is Halloween, 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 Halloween. This is Halloween. Red and black. I am the clown. This is Halloween, this is Halloween, 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 Halloween. In our town of Halloween. This is Halloween, this is Halloween, this is Halloween, 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 Halloween.
Everyone hail to the pumpkin song.
Halloween, Halloween, $33.
Great Halloween, everybody.
Great Halloween, everybody. At least I don't have to worry about Christmas for a while. Do you guys think I could play Jack Skellington? The answer is yes. You don't know anything about my acting ability. Guys, I don't know if Christmas will recover from this, to be honest. There are few who deny it, and I do, I am the best.
I've got the plans for next Halloween. I need to go over them.
Guys, if you have any suggestions for well-written fanfiction where Jack goes to a different holiday land, send them my way, because I want to read them. I want to experience that story, but I'm too lazy to write it, or badly written. I'm just here to have a good time.
What
Is this? Christmas Town?
It's good. Stand aside.
It's good.
Coming. There's only 365 days left till next Halloween.
364.
Very 64. This song and Making Christmas have to really pull their weight if we want to come back from this.
I want to tell you about Christmas Town. That's not the point of Christmas Land.
splendid idea. This Christmas sounds fun. I fully endorse it. Let's try it at once.
I've saved for the last
For the ruler of this Christmas land. That land. That special kind of feeling
in Christmas land.
Guys, I'm getting worried. I don't know about this.
There's got to be a logical way to explain this Christmas thing.
This Christmas.
Christmas time is buzzing in my skull. I've read these Christmas books so many times. I know the Christmas carols all by heart. You know, I think this Christmas thing is not as tricky as it seems. Anyway, I can make a Christmas tree, and there's no reason I couldn't have a Christmas time. Christmas will be ours!
How horrible our Christmas will be.
No! How jolly!
Oh, how jolly our Christmas will be.
It was about your Christmas. There was smoke and fire.
That's not my Christmas. My Christmas is filled with laughter.
Here's a big Christmas song.
Making Christmas. Making Christmas.
Making Christmas, making Christmas is so fine.
Making Christmas. Making Christmas. Making Christmas.
Making Christmas.
Making Christmas.
Guys, we're catching up. I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually kinda shocked.
Christmas time!
You don't need to have another worry about Christmas this year.
On Christmas Eve,
Where are we taking them? Where?
haven't you heard of peace on earth and goodwill toward men?
No!
You're joking. I'm drowning in my tears.
There goes all my hope.
Chris.
There goes Christmas. Guys, we're officially tied. I did not think we'd get this far.
Merry Christmas.
No.
And what is your name?
Guys, we've officially surpassed.
There
Halloween.
you go, Sonny. Merry Christmas!
Attacked by Christmas toys? That's strange. That's the second toy complaint we've had.
Attacked by Christmas toys? I almost missed that one.
Come back and save Christmas.
Come back and save Christmas.
Merry Christmas to all and to all a good night. I knew this Christmas thing was a bad idea. I felt
Although the imposter has been shot down, it looks like
Like, we killed that guy, but that Christmas will have to be canceled this year.
Well, what the heck? I went and did my best. I just can't wait until next Halloween.
the king of Halloween has been blown to smithereens.
Christmas isn't over yet.
Christmas isn't over yet.
To fix Christmas? Of course there is. I'm Santa Claus.
Sorry. To fix Christmas?
He'll fix things, Jack.
And delivered Christmas to excited children all over the world.
Guys, we might have Christmas in the bag, actually.
It's great to be home.
Happy Halloween!
Merry
Merry Christmas!
Must be a Christmas thing.
It's really very strange.
This is Halloween, 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 Halloween. What's this?
Guys, I don't think there's any more. I don't think either of them say Halloween or Christmas. Wait. We'll wait it out. They kiss, and then credits, right? Yes! Look at that. Look at that baby. Look at that baby. That's 5, 10, 15. 44 to 48. Even if I was off by 1 or 2, there's more Christmas than Halloween. I don't think I was. I think I got all of them. I might have missed like one. I'm actually shocked because I'm not gonna lie, guys. I was like, there's no way that we're gonna recover from like, what was it, like 30 Halloweens in the opening number. I was like, guys, I don't know if we're recovering from that one. Like, I know we have Making Christmas, but Making Christmas does not have as many Christmases as Halloween's. But I'm saying we as if you guys are on my side. I'm assuming you are. I'm assuming we're all on the same side here. We really pulled it out of the bag. I was expecting, honestly, like 50 Halloweens and like 30-ish Christmases. So I'm shocked. I'm happy. This proves my point. No matter how much Halloween is in the movie, even though they say Halloween like 5 million times in the opening number, there is still more Christmas than there is Halloween. This is fascinating. I'm fascinated. Well, back to me. Got my ethically sourced bird skull earrings because they're fake. So where does this leave us? A vast majority of the evidence points to The Nightmare Before Christmas being a Christmas movie in kind of every way. If you consider A Christmas Carol, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Home Alone, and Krampus all Christmas movies, which they pretty definitively are, I can't see a logical reason why The Nightmare Before Christmas would not be a Christmas movie. I just personally don't agree with the concept that you can ignore everything that happens in the entire plot of the movie simply because it takes place in Halloween Town. That's just how names work. They don't change based on the season. But it's always Halloween in Halloween Town. No, it's not. It's 364 days until the next Halloween. Sorry, I said I'd stop talking for you. I've also realized it seems less that people don't remember the plot of The Nightmare Before Christmas, and more that we forget how violent, dark, and creepy Christmas movies can be. In conclusion, it's obvious that I believe Nightmare Before Christmas is a Christmas movie. But what do you guys think? I love to hear dissenting opinions and I love to debate with people, so leave me a comment down below and I will get back to you. If you liked this video, give me a like. If you hated it, send it to your enemies. Okay, bye!